5 essential sweaters that every classy man should have in my opinion. Let's start with my favorite sweater, the turtleneck. I think this is one of the most flattering sweaters for the majority of men. Turtlenecks are extremely comfortable and it's the only sweater that also protects your neck from the cold. The one I'm wearing here is by Malux in a subtle ecru shade and made in Scotland from a super soft lamb's wool. A chunky knit turtleneck like this looks best on its own, but can also work with tweed, corduroy or flannel sport coats or with a short jacket. If you want to wear a turtleneck with a suit, you may want to choose a less chunky one for a more streamlined look. If you don't own a turtleneck yet, I think it's a good idea to start with neutral colors like navy, brown, gray or cream. But if you already have one in one of these colors, you could go for something a bit more colorful, such as deep burgundy, forest green or a burnt orange color. For fall, when it's not that cold yet, a light merino wool turtleneck can be an excellent choice. But for winter, a sweater made from thicker lamb wool, cashmere or Shetland wool is a great option. And in general, you want to avoid synthetic fabrics because they are not very breathable and can easily lead to overheating. I remember buying a turtleneck a long time ago that was made from polyester and I really felt like I couldn't breathe because it was that hot. And as a side note, you can also go for a cable knit variation, which adds some interesting texture and is great for casual outfits. And this applies to all sweaters on this list, by the way. Now, I mentioned that turtlenecks look good on almost everyone, but if you have a shorter neckline, you may want to try a mock neck instead because it can look more flattering in that case. The next sweater on the list is the shawl color cardigan. This type of sweater is typically quite heavy and chunky and therefore an excellent casual choice for wintertime. I personally don't own one myself yet, but it's very high up on my shopping list. Steve McQueen wears it in a very casual manner, but you can also dress it up a notch with a shirt and a tie, like in the movie The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. It's a very versatile sweater because it works both with t-shirts as well as dress shirts. It can even be worn over another sweater, almost like a jacket, as done here by Simon from Permanent Style. A shawl color cardigan looks best in my opinion if it's a bit longer than your usual sweaters, similar to a sport jacket. However, most other sweaters look better when they are a bit cropped and they just cover or slightly expand past your waistband. I prefer this type of cardigan over the classic cardigan, which is typically a bit more refined and formal, but that's just my personal preference. I think everyone needs at least one sweater that you can wear with a dress shirt underneath, and my personal favorite for that case is the classic V-neck. This is one of the best sweaters for a business casual wardrobe in my opinion. And this one right here is in a fine lamb wool, also by Malux, and I went for a navy color. The best color depends a bit on your choice of trousers and jackets. For example, if you primarily wear navy trousers and navy sport jackets, you may be better off going with a medium gray, green or a burgundy sweater. But if you prefer gray flannel trousers or suits in winter, then navy is a great choice for a more formal look, and burgundy would be a great option to add some color. The length of the V-shape is up to personal taste, but in general, the deeper the V-neck, the more casual the sweater is. And this is an excellent sweater to wear with a tie because it makes the entire outfit look much more interesting. I prefer a plain V-neck sweater over the cable knit variations, but that's up to personal preference. This is not a sponsored video, by the way, but Chris from Malux was kind to send me 3 of their sweaters to try, and I'm very impressed with the quality. In terms of fit, the sweater should be snug but not tight. You should be able to comfortably wear a shirt underneath without looking bulky, but you don't want to have too much excess fabric either in your midsection or around your arms. And remember that you don't want to have your shirt peeping out from underneath your sweater, which just looks a little bit sloppy in my opinion. And I think that a V-neck sweater should not be worn with a t-shirt underneath because it just doesn't look very flattering. A chunky crew neck sweater is a great casual sweater for winter. I really like the convenience of a crew neck sweater because you don't really have to worry about what you wear underneath. No need to iron a dress shirt, just any t-shirt t-shirt will do. However, they also work well with dress shirts. The little bit of color that's looking out adds a touch of sophistication to the look. But in my opinion, it looks better without a tie, because otherwise it creates a cluttered appearance around the neck. Another way to style this sweater is by adding a neckerchief, as done very elegantly here by Sean Gordon. Now this outfit would already look great without the neckerchief, but just by having this additional pop of color and pattern, the look immediately becomes more interesting. And I think in general, once you have your basic sweater colors covered, it's a great idea to have at least one quote-unquote fun sweater, which could be either in a brighter color or with an interesting pattern or texture. That way you have a great layering piece that makes your outfits more interesting. A good example is this bright purple sweater here by Mikael from Man and Wave, which adds a nice pop of color under his green jacket. For my fun sweater, I went with this burnt orange lamb wool sweater, again by Malex. Sweater number 5 is the half zip sweater. This one is another great business casual sweater that works well with t-shirts for a very casual look, or with a dress shirt for a business casual look. The half zip makes it pretty versatile because it allows you to adjust your look and temperature throughout the day. A half zip sweater is a great choice in office settings where you want to look put together without being overly formal. When choosing a half zip sweater, or any sweater for that matter, go for high quality materials like merino wool, cashmere or lamb wool for the best comfort and longevity. These fabrics will also help to regulate your body temperature, keeping you warm without overheating. Keep in mind that because of the zipper, I think this type of sweater doesn't really work under a sport jacket. So this one is best if it's worn on its own. Gentlemen, those were my 5 essential sweaters for classy men. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.